Good day, Mr. Clay Well.
How are you doing today, Mr. Ham?
I am doing well, doing very well. It's been a while.
It has. It's been too long.
It has,
We've
indeed.
So much stuff going on between us here lately. I've had a death in the family. I've had to go. Cause us to miss a week. You've had some.
Yeah, Mom was in the hospital, so I spent pretty much a week with her in the hospital, and now she's like camped out in Penelope's room, so she's like living with us now. So,
right.
But doing better. So
that's good. That's good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. So there's just been so much going on that it's been almost impossible to find even a half hour, let alone an hour and a half to sit down and record. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear everybody's doing better on your end.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
I'm sorry to hear that the death in the family and all of that.
Well,
so
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it happens.
That's no fun ever.
No, but we move on.
We do. Sometimes it's tough, but yes, we do. Yes, we do. I had a really good a few years ago when Ashley lost her dad.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of those things where she was, devastated, obviously, because he is the Paul Jackson, and he was awesome. But there was a good analogy that I heard on that whole, I guess the time heals everything type thing, and I kind of came to a conclusion that time doesn't really necessarily heal; it just puts more distance between you and the event. It's like leaving the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon stays the same size. You just get further away from it, and it looks smaller. So I think that's what time does.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And that's a really unique way to look at it. I've never heard it expressed like that before. But yeah, and I think it's very true. It's definitely the hurt's always there.
It is.
But yeah.
And you can revisit it, and it's just as painful as it was the day that it happened. But again, like I say, time just puts that distance.
Right.
So, yeah. My little piece of philosophy for tonight. We started off deep.
That's a good little wisdom. Yeah, we're starting on a downer note kind of, but that's a good little way to look at it, I think, and
Awesome.
Very succinct. I like the sentiment there.
Awesome. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about all of those people, the Tim Allens of the world.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The DIYers. Because it's almost like there's two classes of people. You either are or you are not.
Right. And I definitely fit into the not category.
But then again, you've called me a few times because I seem to fit into the DIY thing. So
yeah, definitely.
So there's a place for both.
Oh, for sure there is. I think mine is it comes down. So if you're going to do something yourself, it helps to have knowledge of the topic and some of the basic skills that you're going to require ahead of time.
Yes. Yep.
I don't have any of those things typically for most stuff.
Okay.
I don't have the knowledge or the skills, generally speaking, for household do-it-yourself. If you need a computer fixed, I'm your guy.
Exactly.
If you need some drywall hung, that's not so much my forte. Plumbing, no. Electrical, very minor. I can replace an outlet or a light switch.
Yeah, make sure you turn off the breaker beforehand, of course. Right?
Wait, you're supposed to turn the breakers off first?
That little tingly feeling that you get,
Yeah, I thought that was just part of it.
Well, it is part of the experience, but
no.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I maintain a good even keel on my mood.
That's pretty good. So I'm that guy though that is just like, give me a project and I'm going to go after it. Even if I don't necessarily have the knowledge, I have found this wonderful, wonderful tool for finding that knowledge. It's
a hammer?
Google. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Ask your phone. It will tell you just about anything.
Mine just says, I'm sorry, I can't find that.
You got to ask it in a nicer way.
Oh,
But no, honestly, yeah, I have found that YouTube videos and just the Google, like general the websites that they pull up a lot of times really, 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 really do help. And you know, you can just about learn anything from watching that stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't have made it through math class in college had it not been for YouTube and Google. I'm just saying. So, you know, you can learn just about anything from those. But yeah.
it is, and independent. I have trouble. I don't learn well that way.
You have to do.
I have to do things.
Okay.
To get to. I can pick up some of it, but I actually need to do it to really get a understanding of it.
Okay.
Typically.
And I can see where a DIY project, that could be either first and foremost expensive because the material that you get, if you mess up, well, you got to go get the material again, or it could be very dangerous. I mean, people have lost digits doing things.
I mean, you know, just a water heater, what could go wrong?
Exactly.
It's not like those things go sailing through the roof on occasion.
You know. By the way, how's your water heater doing?
It's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Putting it up on the roof was a great idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that was hilarious, by the way. What was it, 2 years ago now? Something like that?
Yeah, it's about 2 years.
2 years ago when the water heater goes out, we go over to pick up a new one at Lowe's, and not only do we purchase a water heater, but also
I had also had that was right after the big winter we had with the big ice storm, and it pulled part of my gutters loose. It didn't rip them off the house, but it pulled them loose. So
and we're talking like the second story.
Yeah.
It's not like
tall side of the house, yeah.
So have to get like this 26-foot ladder or something like that.
Yeah, we had to get a 20-something foot ladder to get up there, and so we buy a water heater and this really long extension ladder. And the lady looks at us at the checkout.
Yeah, poor Laura at the checkout. She's like, "Okay, so are you putting the water heater on the roof?" We're like, "Yeah, why not? That's where they go, right?"
Yeah, like I saw that episode of MythBusters, and I didn't want a big hole through my house, so I just figured I'd go ahead and put it on the roof. That way, when it launches,
exactly. Problem solved.
Yeah, that poor lady was so confused. I think it took her a second to realize that I'm not that stupid.
Hey, you know what? I'd say that she's probably not seen that come through the cash registers, you know, that often. Water heaters and ladders.
Probably not. And she probably, unfortunate. I've dealt with the public, and I could understand her concern.
Amen. Amen. Never underestimate, right?
Yeah. People might tend to surprise you when you, when you think that they're no. Surely nobody could be that stupid.
Well, something too, though. I mean,
wrong.
You gotta figure people are pretty ingenious when they come up with like the DIY projects. They come up with fixes for things that shouldn't be fixed, or ways of fixing things that shouldn't work.
Right.
I can remember sitting at work with Dave Farmer and seeing some of the stuff that he would pull up on the computer there. It would be like people that have replaced the air conditioning in their car with a window air conditioner.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of this.
Or like the camper that has been put on hooked to the back end of the vehicle with like bungee straps and 4x4 blocks, and I mean just crazy stuff that they attached it to the back of the car with.
Like a camper shell?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Okay,
it was like on a car as well. It wasn't like on a truck. They had like it's like where they'd popped the trunk lid open and it's just kind of set it there and strapped it to it. Unreal.
Wow.
I mean, some people just don't need to do things themselves. They should call, help.
Right. And another part of mine is just my sheer laziness in general. I don't. It's worth like $50 to me to just let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably gonna screw it up. And at least if somebody else screws it up, it's not my fault. Yeah. So I don't feel stupid about it.
Well, now good example here. So, for me, I'm one of those people that it's hard for me to know when to stop, when to say no. Mm-hmm. But I called today and got 2 quotes, or I'm getting 2 quotes tomorrow. There's 2 guys that are coming out to remove the 3 trees that are around our house. So I know in something like that, I don't have the skill set, and I don't like being up high in a tree anyway, especially with running a chainsaw.
Right. And you wouldn't want to take the responsibility of putting a hole through your neighbor's roof.
Exactly. My roof or the neighbor's roof. And if some other tree service comes in, those guys are insured. So if they decide to put a hole in something, their insurance could pay for it.
Yep. It's not on you.
It's not on me. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And stuff like exactly that. So another one of my problems is I tend to hurt myself a lot when I try to do things on my own. For example, you'll remember talking about removing trees. You came over one afternoon and helped me remove the tree out here by my driveway.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah.
I screwed up my back apparently forever.
That one little thing that come down and hit you in the back. And after that, you've had problems.
Yeah. It still hurts.
It was almost like one of those kinetic pressure point things that is just I don't know. It's like Ninja Tree. It hit you and
it was like
crippled you.
Yeah, it was like the Phantom Death Touch or something. I don't know. But it hurt pretty good. And I still have problems with it from time to time.
And that's been years and years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's been like 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to me, it would have been much more worth paying somebody $200 to come cut the tree down, or $300, or $400. I don't even know what I'm out in chiropractic.
I have no clue what it's going to cost whenever those guys come tomorrow, because they're not small trees that I'm talking about. And I'm sure I'm going to be looking at probably $500-$600 per tree minimum.
Wow. Well, if they're good trees, though.
They're maple. They aren't worth.
Oh, maybe you can get something out of the wood in them.
Yeah. I'm just going to be glad to see them gone.
Yeah, true. Oh, are those the ones that do the little helicopter seeds?
Yes. Yeah, I hate a maple. Okay. God, I hate a maple.
Yeah.
So
real fun in the gutters.
Yeah. Well, and see, I put the gutter guard things over. Another DIY thing that I did at the house.
Right.
We bought this thing's called, I think it wasn't Master Shield, but it was something. It was like the off brand of Master Shield gutter covers, and they came in like 6-foot sections. And you just go up and you just slide it underneath where the shingles are, and then the other end screws down to the front of the gutter. Dude, I have not had to clean the gutters out in 2 years. It's just this stuff comes, it hits the top, and even if it lands on the top, it dries out there and just blows off. So pretty awesome.
Good. I need to look into getting new gutters on the backside of my house.
Yeah. I mean, they can come out and they can do it, in a couple hours time. It's no problem at all. So. Yeah. But I think though too a lot with doing my own stuff, people talk about the quality of work that's being done, and I think that by doing my own work, I know the quality that goes into it. Whereas if I call and I let someone do the work for me, I'm not involved as much, and I don't necessarily know if the work is going to be shoddy work. I've had experiences in the past with carpenters and people like that have come in and done things for Dad and things, and it's just not good work. Like, he actually has to go behind them and fix the mistakes that they've made, and these are the professionals. So,
well, are they the professionals, or are they the guys that don't mind to do it?
Well, they built the house builders. I mean, know, so like when we built the studio years ago down there. One of the things that he requested, or that was required, was with it being a studio, it needed to have a storefront, which meant that it had that little box, front end that's at the top where normally the sign hangs and stuff.
Right.
So the builder that we got was like, "Yeah, no problem, I can do that." And then when it got to that point, he was like, "I've never done anything like this before." So he muddled through it, and we had to go back and fix all of the problems because it was like
nice.
Yeah, it was horrid the work that he did. So
nice, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, so there's that as well. So I think too, I guess where I've been burned a few times, or we've been burned in the past. I like to know the quality that goes into it.
Right, I can see that. Now my problem is I don't like when it comes to building things. I don't have I can't do quality. Like I don't know how. I don't have those skills.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, like for example, I repainted in here,
Right.
and I did it. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I think I did a decent job painting.
It looks good.
But in the hallway where I had to redo
Where you took down that panel.
the wainscoting,
Yeah.
I took down the wainscoting and then had to, like, you could tell that I put the trim back up after that because it looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody else is going to look in my house and go, oh, look, your trim work needs a little work there. But, you know, I can see where I missed the nail and just put a big dent
Right.
in the trim, or, you know, bent the nail over instead of driving it in
Just
true.
going straight. Yeah.
Yeah, especially on that kind of stuff where it's like the finishing details.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really bury it.
True enough. And, you know, a lot of it too is, you know, the finish itself, it takes time, and it's almost, I mean, it's meticulous type work. But then again, there is a skill set that goes with that as well. So, yeah, I can see. And then another thing too is you're going to see every little mistake you make. So, when you look at a big picture, like you walk into someone else's house, you look and go, "Oh, you got a nice house." You don't see the, you know, the little tiny little imperfections here and there.
Right, right.
So
you don't see the little, oh, there's where your kid spilled a spot of Kool-Aid.
Right. Or even like a miscut piece of trim or a miscut piece of flooring or something. You're like, unless it's obvious, a big chunk, you don't see those little things. Now, like walking through my house, I can see every little flaw in my flooring because we did all that, laminate flooring through the house, and I know every little flaw that's there. But generally speaking, people that come in, they're like, "Hey, not bad. The floor looks good," and so it's not like, I don't know. I guess most people don't see those little details,
and maybe that's part of my own character flaw in most things.
Yeah,
is maybe most people are this way, or maybe definitely more people than just me are this way, but you're always more critical of yourself.
Absolutely.
Than usually anybody else is going to be.
Absolutely.
So when I look at a piece of work I've done,
you see every little flaw, I
only see the flaws.
Yeah.
Like I don't see.
We had this discussion the other afternoon when you were talking about the photography.
Right. Yeah.
And really though, it really comes down to that. Not necessarily so much of seeing the flaw, but it's good to be critical of your work, and it's good to constantly be striving to be better. Right. But other people don't see all those problems.
Right. As the Japanese say, you want that kaizen.
Yeah.
You want that. You want to strive for that continuous improvement.
Right.
You never want to sit down and be satisfied with where you are.
Complacency
you always want to look
is
for
terrible.
that next little improvement, that next step that you can take.
Yep. Complacency is not good. Not good at all.
I can see that. But so we're talking about DIY, and so as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was out mowing my yard, and my lawnmower just seized up. I couldn't figure out what. Like I could hear for the last few weeks, I could hear that something wasn't right.
Right.
I was pretty sure that it was a bearing of some kind going out, because it was kind of squealing and stuff like that. But when I would take it back in and park it up, everything seemed fine. Like I would get off and fiddle with all the little bits, and everything seemed to be turning fine. I didn't see anything. There was no hesitation anywhere. So a couple of weeks ago, it finally just seized up.
Right.
And I forget what the part was called. You told me what it was called.
Yeah, it's the bearing housing for the blade, basically. It's the pulley and blade.
Yeah. So that little thing seized up completely on one of my blades, because I got a riding mower. It's got 3 blades. One of those just seized up completely, and I was like, "Well, that's it. I'm gonna have to buy a new mower." and of course you're like, "No, just replace that part."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "I can't do no."
I mean, like, what? Literally, you called me and you're like, "Hey, dude, can you bring your mower over?" And after all of that debacle, finally got it over here that next day. And yeah, I mean, while you were mowing the 20 feet that you had left to mow,
right?
looked that part up and no problem. I mean, it's just cheap for one.
Yeah, I think it wound up costing me like $31 shipped.
I was gonna say insanely inexpensive for something that you would think this is an essential part to this mower. It's going to cost an arm and a leg,
Right?
But they're not. Those are specifically designed that when they go out, they're fairly cheap to get back.
Yeah.
And the bearing housing, it's 4 bolts plus the blade bolt, and that's about it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There was the nut that hold the blade on, which, oh my dear Lord. So this goes back to my lack of knowledge and experience. So my lawnmower's got a floating deck. So it's kind of, so I lowered the deck. That's easy.
Yeah.
Took the deck off, slid it out from under the mower so I could get to everything.
Stood it up.
So I could get under there and really work on it.
By the way, which one was it? Was it the one that was
The furthest from the discharge.
okay? All right.
The furthest one from the discharge side. So I get it up and get in there and man, where that thing had been failing for a while, that nut on that blade, holy moly. It took me, I want to say probably about an hour and a half. Just
4 times as long to get the blade off as it did to change the whole thing.
Oh,
right?
way more. Yeah. I broke a ratchet. I bent. So there was like a little hole through the middle of the spindle to put a screwdriver in to keep it from turning so you could try to tighten everything up.
Right.
It bent the screwdriver
Holy cow.
from me pulling on it so hard. I was lifting the entire 50-inch cut deck off the ground.
My God.
Like I said, I broke my ratchet. Went to town on it I've got a hammer drill, like an impact drill.
Yeah.
It's not a gun, not a pneumatic one. It's just a cordless one. Went to town with that thing until it overheated.
Oh, wow, dude.
Came back with another ratchet. My back started hurting. My shoulders were hurting. I was I was starting to feel it pretty good. And I was getting ready to come try to borrow a breaker bar from you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to give that impact gun one more try.
And
after
after
about 2 minutes of, it finally zzz, right off it came.
Yeah.
And after that, man, the other 4 bolts, right in, right out.
Yeah.
Got that done. Got the new one back in. Got everything bolted down. Got the blade back on it. But then, man, this is another one of those experience things. Trying to get the deck mounted back under the mower.
Right. Where it's a suspension deck.
Yeah, it's the front part bolts in, so that's easy. But the back part is just suspended on this moving pin.
Right.
So no matter how low I set that, because I was thinking, well, if I put it as low as the deck will go when I'm mowing, that'll put these pins closer to the ground.
Right.
So it should be easier. But no matter how low I put it, it wasn't low enough. Like I still had to lift the deck off the ground with one hand while I'm trying to line up a pin through 3 holes with the other hand and get the pin through.
A lot of fun, huh?
Yeah, well, I finally got it. Got everything put back together. Went out and started to mow the yard just to test. Got out on the road, engaged the blades, smoke.
What?
Smoke just started rolling out from under the mower.
No.
And I was like, oh my God, what? Don't tell me another one of those things went bad. Because this one's fixed now and they put more tension on the other. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, oh great, now another one's going bad.
Tell me it was just a belt that was in the wrong spot. Or something.
Yeah. So what it turned out to be was when I put everything back together, as I was mounting the deck back up under the mower, the belt slipped off the pulley.
Yeah.
And just was around the shaft
itself,
and not around the pulley.
So it was just sitting there cooking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
did you have to replace the belt?
No, it was fine.
Good.
It was quick. Like I just saw the smoke and was like, stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was fine. But I got got it back up, and everything seemed to be working fine.
Awesome,
but, man. I
awesome.
was hurting for a few days after that.
That constant heating and cooling of that bearing housing, I guarantee you that's what seized that bolt on there to hold the blade. Because I mean, you got to figure that thing's just kind of like, I don't want to say it's welding, but it's just that, you heat something up to typically loosen it, right?
Yep.
So if it's doing that and it's already tight, it's really, really tightened on there. Yep. I had that 18-inch breaker bar that you had called about, had it setting out, and then I've got also, aside from that, I've got another either 18 or 24-inch piece of pipe that I can use. So, I mean, you can really, really get some leverage on that.
I mean, I would have needed it, I think. Like I said, I was everything I could do and couldn't break this stupid thing loose.
Dude, I am proud of you for tackling that thing and getting everything working. Because, I mean, like you say, you're not a DIY guy. Right. The part came in, you swapped them out. It might have took you like a half a day where it would have normally taken like an hour, but it's not because of lack of knowledge, because you did everything right. You just ended up with a stubborn part. So that's not on you.
I think if I had known better how to, like, if I had better knowledge of like a different way to get the nut off or a better way to line everything back up.
Right.
So what I finally worked out was it was a lot easier to take some block and put under the deck and let that hold it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, that's way easier than me trying to hold it with one hand. A cast iron deck. Like, I'll just pick it up off the ground here and hold it with my hand.
Yeah, just slip a brick under the edge of it or something like that and just hold it up and you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't that smart for a while. And then I was like, why am I holding this? I could just put something under it.
Exactly.
But it did work out.
It's not light, not at all.
Hell no.
It's like a 50-inch cut too. So yours is the big deck.
Yeah, 3 blades.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up the other day as I was mowing. I guess this has probably been last week. I made about 3 loops around the yard, and I noticed that mine was cutting, like one side was not cutting as good as the other. So I was like, oh, heck, man, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the blades off of this thing, sharpen them up real good, and re-level the deck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took like 20 minutes. That was taking them off, sharpening them, putting them back on, bringing it over, level the deck. Dude, my lawn now looks like carpet. So,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it worked out good. So
20 minutes, huh?
About 20 minutes.
Yeah. Real nice.
But then again, I have had the blades off recently, so it's not like they were seized on there or anything. So,
it took me 20 minutes just to figure out how to get the thing to come off to start with.
But then again, like you said, now if you have to do this again, you've learned from this experience, right?
Well, here's the whole thing. So it took me I'm not kidding. It took me like 30, 45 minutes to figure out how to get the deck off.
Right.
You literally pull 2 spring-loaded pins and it just falls out.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is the easy one.
I was like, you mean that's all I had to do? I've been sitting here fighting this thing for half an hour, and all I got to do is pull this pin out, and it just falls.
Yep, pretty much. That's it. It seems like I took the deck off once, because didn't we replace the blades over there once at the house?
Yep, you replaced the blades and leveled the deck for me.
That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking that it was one of the ones that was really simple. But again, like you say, it being a suspension deck, a floating deck like that, you have to have something to prop that thing back up.
Yeah.
Because
it's
hard. Heavy. heavy.
But I will say, it turned out I was quite pleased. It was a cost-efficient repair.
It was?
$31 to fix my riding mower. Not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt.
There was quite a bit of achy back and physical discomfort, and I was extremely frustrated by the end of the process.
That's part of the process, though. I'm just going to tell you, if you're not frustrated, something has not gone the way it's supposed to. I have noticed that anything that I get into, whether I know what I'm doing or not, there's going to be a point where I'm using 4-letter words.
Now, see, that's the only part I'm good at.
So, yeah, there's always that level of frustration that comes with anything that you do.
I can get angry and swear at it. The actual fixing it, though, that's my problem. So, but I don't see, like just this, for example, this was an easy thing for most people. This was really hard for me. And you do this kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
Like you moved one of the doors inside your house to a different wall and then sealed up the old hole and just made it a solid wall, and you can't even tell.
Well, I mean, that's just, it's things that I've done in the past, though. I mean, my uncle, Rick, I think they're in the house that they built. I want to say there are, there's, besides the load bearing wall, I think there are about 5 original walls in his house. The rest of them have all been taken down, moved around, completely restructured on the inside. And that's the way I would spend summer break, winter break over Christmas, stuff like that. I'd go up there and he'd be like, all right, we're going to tear this wall out. And I'm like, you hand me a crowbar and I can tear things apart. But then I learned from him on, how to rebuild it. So it's one of those things where just experience has really helped in that genre. And I mean, we did, construction work where we were, framing walls and all that kind of stuff. We did plumbing, we did electrical, finish work. The only thing I didn't do with him was flooring, and I didn't really know anything about that until I just tore into it with my house and was like, if I'm going to screw something up, it's going to be my screw up. So.
Well, now, when you did your house though, it's the laminate, right? You didn't do the subfloor.
Well, there's 2. I've got a laminate throughout most of the house, and then in our bedroom, it is a cabin grade hardwood, but it's interlocking hardwood, so you don't have to actually like staple it in or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So,
but you didn't do like the subfloor and
no.
Oh, okay.
No,
because oh my god. That just seems like it would be such a nightmare, though.
Getting ready to start all that stuff, though. Oh, fun.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, spring.
You're gonna DIY your entire house, aren't you?
I'm gonna DIY an entire structure from foundation to roof cap. Yeah.
Now, are you having anybody do anything? Electrical, plumbing, or?
I don't know about electrical and plumbing. I think I'll do that myself. I can't do septic system. You have to have a license to do that. So that has to be done by someone else. I'm horrid at concrete work, and I don't have the tools to do it properly. So I'll have to have someone come in and do like pour the basement, the walls, and all of that.
Okay, so you're going to do a poured walls?
Yeah, I'm doing poured walls, and then it's a 3/4 basement, so the other quarter of the house will be crawl space. But so all of that, and then after that, the only other thing that I think I'm going to have anyone come in and do is the roof. I don't want to necessarily do like shingles or metal roof. I don't know how to do
you mean
that.
the actual roofing?
The roofing itself.
Okay.
Like I'll set the trusses and all that stuff.
Now,
myself.
Are you gonna fab those, or are you gonna buy those pre-made?
I'll purchase those because I'm going to do over the bedroom sections. I'm going to have attic trusses, and then over the living room kitchen area will just be it's going to be a 10-foot roof there, so it'll just be standard trussing.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of fun there.
You're brave. I give you
or
credit.
Crazy or crazy. There's sometimes there's
if you as you say if you have the skills and the knowledge, then no, it's not crazy.
I think I'm going to save a lot of money by doing a lot of it myself. And of course, stuff like brick work, I don't know how to do that. So I'll have to get people to do that stuff. But yeah.
Oh, so you're going brick with this one?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do brick on the outside. The subdivision that we bought in, the structure has to be at least 50% some sort of stonework. So either brick or creek rock or, the fabricated stone or whatever.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so we're gonna do brick up to the eave, and then we'll do like vinyl siding or something at the top, in the gable ends. So yeah, fun.
Sounds like it will be.
Oh yeah. Next summer, that's where I'll be. Like I've got to treat it like a job. From what I've gathered, everyone says you go in the morning, you work all day, you go home that afternoon, you got to leave it. Because if not, it'll drive you crazy and you'll wear yourself out. And then the next day, you're not going to get anything done because you're exhausted from and take days off like normal, a normal job. So
yeah. And you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to finish this thing.
No, because there is no.
You gotta have a quit time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You basically, okay, I'm at a point where I can stop for today. Yeah.
Right on. But you got to make sure it's not all quit time.
Right.
You got to get some work done.
Got to get some work done. Yeah, sometime in there.
So do you plan on having it all finished before you start back to school?
No, I'm hoping to have it. I'm hoping to be in it Thanksgiving-ish, maybe between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
I'd like to be moving in at that point. So that'll give me from pretty much spring break until, Thanksgiving. 6 months, 8 months.
So what are you going to do with your house now? You going to sell it or rent it?
Mom wants it. So,
okay.
Yeah, so she's already talking about wanting to sell the place in McCreary, and she wants that house. She basically said, "You let me know when you're getting ready to move. This is mine." I'm like, "You got it." So,
right on.
Yeah.
So now you're going to do all that. Have you got all the tools and stuff that you need for that kind of major construction work? Or
no.
You plan on leaning on that weird little dude that lives next door to you there?
Some, yeah. Not Sonny so much. He has some nice stuff there, but actually John, my new neighbor.
Where you're going?
Yeah,
okay.
where we're going. Because he just built his house. He has an entire basement full of the tools you need for building a house. And he's like, anything you need, dude, it's right here. Anything from the big like pneumatic nail guns to, the saws, everything. He's like, don't go out and buy all this stuff because it's just sitting here. So I'm like,
that's nice.
Awesome. And he's like, anytime I can help, you just let me know. He's like, you tell me where you want the nail and I'll put it there. I'm like, awesome, dude. So, and Jerry, his brother-in-law, the same thing. He's going to be the next neighbor over. So
nice.
Both of them are like, hey, you let us know when you want to get started and we're there. So,
well, I'll tell you what, I'll make the same offer John did. If you tell me where you want the nail, and I'll make sure it gets somewhere in the general vicinity of that.
You got to make sure that you put that dent in it that you were talking about in your trim.
Well, it'll either have a dent in the board or the nail will just be folded in half somewhere. Yeah.
Awesome.
It'll get in that general area. I get it within like 4 or 5 feet.
Hey, I'm going to have you come over because, I told you I'm going to build a dumbwaiter, right?
Okay, so I know all about dumb. I'm an expert on dumb.
Here's the thing: when I build the dumbwaiter, you're going to come over and you got to help me with this because this is going to be one of those. It's a physics project. I don't math,
right?
So,
you're going to do it with pulleys?
I'm doing it with pulleys.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to come over and give me a hand with that one, okay? The good old dumbwaiter.
Get a 4-to-1 mechanical advantage going.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm thinking either 2-to-1 or 4-to-1.
You don't want to go much higher than that because you're gonna have to take you forever to get it up,
right,
and down.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2-to-1. That's what I'm thinking because realistically, I'm not going to be lifting anything much, and the motor that I'm looking at can deadlift 400 pounds. So if I do the 2-to-1, you're lifting 800 pounds. Do we really need to do anything like that?
Yeah. It should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put the motorcycle in the dumbwaiter. It's coming up.
Piece by piece, though, because it's only gonna be like a 2 foot by 2 foot dumbwaiter. So.
Oh well. Oh yeah, that should be plenty. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So it's gonna be fun. That one is. I'm looking forward to that little project.
So you're good at all this stuff, but now I'm just curious. Have you ever run on something that you tried? And I mean tried.
And just couldn't?
Yeah.
Transmission. Yeah.
Those are,
dude, they've got
like
gears,
a car?
like a car's transmission.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a couple. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee that had issues.
Okay.
And then my little pickup truck that I used to have, the last little pickup truck that I had issues. And what it was valve sticking on the valve body. So I thought, hey, you know what? Just drop the pan, pull the valve body off, swap the solenoid in there, pop it back up, put the fluid back in it, and go. Not even close. There is magic involved in a transmission, and I do not have that magic.
So what you're saying is when you opened up the transmission,
you
let all the magic out.
I let all the magic out, and I didn't have any magic to pour back in there.
Okay, so see now I'm coming from computers and electronics. I don't know so much about the magic, just in general, but I know specifically about the magic blue smoke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because if you ever let that out of your computer, it just doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore. Yeah, you got to make sure that stays contained.
You have to keep the magic blue smoke inside the computer at all times.
Yeah, and it can't be just inside the case. It has to be inside the component.
Yeah, it's got to be in the right components. Yeah, in the proper quantities.
Yep.
They all have their own little proportionate amount of blue smoke that has to be in there.
And you can always tell when it's starting to leak out because there's this funny smell that happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people call it ozone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always wondered what our ozone smelled like. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. You just fry a computer and you'll know exactly what it smells like 3 miles up.
Oh, but yeah, that's the one thing that I really. Anybody says I've got transmission problems, I'm like, you know what? I know who to call because it's not me. Oh yeah, that's the one that I just can't. I can't do. Anything else on a car though? I mean, I'm that idiot that'll try it if nothing else, even if I do screw up. I've got Sonny next door, and then I know there's a mechanic that can probably fix my screw up. But
so that's one thing I don't have to worry about too much is I don't own a vehicle, so I don't have to worry too much about automotive repair.
Absolutely, so. you know, having a company vehicle. That can help a lot because you just do your own maintenance, or they do the maintenance for you. And if there's something that messes up, just get it fixed.
Right.
So that helps. I've had company vehicle a couple of times, different places that I've been, and you basically put in the work order. Hey, this is messed up. I need brakes. I need windshield wipers, whatever. And they are like, okay. And you pick it up 3 hours later, and hey, it's done.
Yep. And I don't have the skills to do any of that kind of stuff on my own anyway. So I know people that do.
Yeah.
But I don't have the mess with it too much. But now computers I can do.
I have called you, I don't know how many times. And here's the thing. I know what I'm doing for the most part. I'm just not confident in knowing what I'm doing. I think I'm like, and a lot of times my call to you is, okay, here, I'm about to do this. Mm-hmm. Am I doing this right? And either you're like, yeah, or completely no. You do this first, or make sure you do this. And it's little details that I would have probably missed, but you've got that knowledge, and I thank you, sir. I've taken advantage of your knowledge a few times, just simply
likewise. You helped me fix my lawnmower. You told me what part I needed and how to acquire that part and everything. So I couldn't have done that without you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's turnabout's fair play.
Awesome. But yeah, my build that I did a couple of years ago, there was something that I think it was the Therma whatever for the heat sink.
Oh, your
thermal gel,
your thermal paste.
Yeah. There was something that I was doing. And it seems like you had told me, make sure that there's, I can't remember. It was something about air bubbles or something about.
It's got, so when you TIM your processor, you want a very fine, thin layer of thermal paste on the heat spreader for your processor. You don't want any air bubbles in it whatsoever.
Right. Because it can burn that out. Right.
Yeah. Well, the air bubble can pop, and then you're left with a gap where where the heat can build up because there's not the paste there to spread the heat.
That makes sense. But yeah, there was something that I was doing that I don't remember how I was doing it, and you told me to do it another way, and I was like, okay, well, it worked perfect. And it's been, I've had consistent temperature in my processor the whole time, so it's very good. Thank you.
No problem. Not a problem at all.
So yeah, I would have. That's another one of those things. Like I said, for the most part, I'm okay with it, but I'm not 100%. So I'm always a little unsure.
Well, yeah, but you have the self-confidence, even if you might not be totally sure what you're doing. You've still got that self-confidence to move forward. And I think that's one of my issues is just a personality-wise, I don't necessarily
getting over that hurdle.
I can't get past that. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this because I've never done it before.
Right.
Well, if you've never done it before, so you can't do it, how are you ever going to do it? Right. But I just, that block gets there and I can't.
And I know that, even like the things like replacing your water heater down here.
Right.
Once you're in it, you're like, yeah, this is no problem. But it was just getting you started on it and being like, okay, I can do this, and doing it. Because I mean,
Right.
I think a lot of times it's easy to make a mountain out of a molehill, and you look at a project and you go, oh crap, that's huge.
Yeah.
When really it's not. It's just a bunch of components that are put together. Good point. Here, a few years ago, when I replaced the central heat and air unit in my house. Okay.
Okay.
We're talking, the old system died. It had been in the house for roughly 14 years. The guy that came out and recharged the system was like, this is the life of one of these. The best you're going to get out of it is probably 16 to 18 years. So you're probably going to have to replace it. I was like, price me one up. The price he shot me was $4,500. And I was like, okay, thank you very much. I'll call you when it dies. So at that point, I started doing the research. How complicated can it possibly be to replace a central heat and air unit in a house? It's an air conditioner. There's an outside unit, an inside unit. Aside from that, it's power and the little control, right? So after doing the research, I found out I can purchase one on the internet, have it shipped to my house, delivered, and do the work myself, and do it for less than half the price he quoted. So the entire system, I bought inside and outside, the blower unit and the outside compression unit, and the distribution box, which I'd have to hook it up to my ductwork, and the return box because the blower was bigger. The whole thing, I have like $2,300 in, $2,200 in.
Wow.
And effectively, it was a matter of taking the old one out. I had to have someone come out and pull the Freon out of it. But the guy that did that, I mean, he's like, whenever you are putting everything back together, I'll come and braze your lines up for you. So he charged me $150 to braze my lines and check all my wiring, which was basically the connections to braze the lines. It's copper lines. The gases were in the unit, so he did all the connections for me. Like he whatever you use, the torch and the solder and all that kind of stuff, to get those. And that's another one of those things. I'm completely and totally inept when it comes to using copper pipe and using a torch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he did all of that. He pulled a vacuum on the system so that way, the lines were clear. And then he turned a little valve and the 410 coolant went through the system, and it's good. It's been working awesome since. So knocked on wood.
There you go.
So if you did hear that, that's what that was. Yeah. But again, it's one of those things where you got to make it's not all that complicated when you start looking at, well, it's just this and it's just that and it's just that. When you look at the big picture, it's huge. Central heat and air system in a house is a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. When I get, like you said, they have a lifespan.
Yeah.
So when mine goes, I don't even
gonna call me and be like, hey dude, where did you get yours? And can you do this in my house, dude?
Ordering it and all that stuff is not but I really think I need the ductwork redone
possibly
in the house.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I know I do, because like some of this downstairs has drop ceiling and you can see it breathe when the air kicks off and on.
Yeah.
So I know that there's leaks in it.
Yeah.
But it's just not bad enough for me to worry about right now. But when it does go out and I need to get everything replaced, I'm probably just going to ask them if they can redo the ductwork while they're in there.
When that happens, probably having someone do it is going to be your best route, because the only ductwork that I've done was that distribution box and the return box. So, yeah. But again, that's one of those things where looked at the problem and be like, okay, is it worth $4,500, an extra $2,000 effectively for me to have this person to come out and do something that I can do, in a couple of days? So I don't know. I guess being one of those DIY guys is I mean, it's saved me money. Again, it's cost me money from time to time as well. So I don't know.
On the whole, though, do you think you feel? But so I would think that you doing all that stuff yourself, you're going to get a sense of accomplishment out of doing the things yourself. That,
I do.
That I'm not going to get because I just like, here's $100.
Do that.
You do it.
I do. I do get a sense of accomplishment. More so than accomplishment though, experience. So next time I know what I'm doing. If I need to do this again, I don't feel bad about breaking into central heat and air unit. I know what components are there, and if something goes out, I know how to fix that. So it's that experience, though, I think that's really, really, really worth, like you're saying, getting over that first hurdle. Can I do this? Am I going to screw up? If I do screw up, how much more is that going to cost me? It's just one of those things. It's just, I don't know. I think the experience is worth it.
So you're definitely a proponent for do it yourself.
I am. Yeah. I really feel like, that's the way to go. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's something that's huge that I know that I'm going to mess up or that I don't have the tools or the skills to do, I know that there's a time that I'm going to have to.
Like you're saying, for example, pouring the concrete.
Yeah.
Putting the roofing material on
right.
a new house.
Yeah. Cutting down trees in the yard. Yeah. There is a time and a place to call, look at Angie's List or something, to call someone. And, again, that's one of those things. You just got to know when to say no. I can't do that. So, but for the most part, yeah, I am a DIY guy.
I think your when to say no has a lot fewer items on that list than my when to say no list.
That's that's with a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot more on my list than there is on Sonny's. The next door neighbor, oh my God. I've seen him tear the front end of a car, like rack and pinion steering apart and have it laid across the driveway and then it be back together before the sun goes down. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Thanks, but no thanks.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. You got to know your limits. And a lot of the times with me, it's tools. It's what do you have available? So if I've got the tool available, surely to God, I can learn how to use it. So, yeah. And I've not lost a finger yet, but that's, again, I'm getting ready to build a house. So we may be counting to 9 instead of 10 here real soon.
Mommy, how come Daddy can only count to 8?
Oh. Penelope, go to your room and be glad you've got it because it cost him 2 fingers.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's great.
Goodness gracious.
But I want to change topics real quick because you were talking about a little bit earlier. You mentioned the photography thing again.
I did.
It's one of my hobbies. I enjoy it a lot. So it's something I wanted to do all year. I tried to work it out with a few different people. The schedules just never came together. There was always conflicts and availability and whatnot. But last weekend, a buddy of mine and I went down and hiked down the Yehu Falls and the arch down there, which I didn't even know there was an arch down there.
Oh, yeah. It's huge, too. The one in McCreary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natural Arch is a monster.
So the arch down there, if anybody's interested, it's a great little trail. It's very well maintained.
Yeah. It's not a long hike.
No, I think the whole hike to the arch, down to the falls, back to the car was just a little over 2 miles.
Right.
The hardest part of it is if you stay to the right the whole time, the hardest part is when you're coming back out of the falls. There's quite a few stairs there.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day too. They used to be treacherous, much, much better now. But yeah, that used to be like a death trap. So
now they're really stable now. It's a good quality. It's just pretty steep and there's quite a few stairs, but nothing insurmountable. You might just need to take a break every now and then.
Right.
But I mean, the falls. I've been to the falls before. it's kind of a small falls,
Yeah,
unless
there's
it's been
not
raining.
much.
They're the tallest falls in the state.
120 feet, something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
But there's normally not much of
it's
a
not a
stream.
high waterfall,
Right.
or a high volume.
Right.
of
It's
water.
Unless it's been raining, because it is more of a wet water stream. But yeah, that's it. It's beautiful down in there.
It is.
And yeah, it's tall. And there's 2 or 3 stories that I have about the falls down there. One of my buddies, he's no longer with us. His name was Ryan Moore. Actually fell from about a third of the way up. He was rappelling down from the top and fell and landed in the pool. Luckily,
Ouch.
yeah. The water broke his fall, and there wasn't much water there. But yeah, he was limping around for a while.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it's pretty good
A
distance.
third of the way up, still like 40 feet.
Yeah. If he
That's
wouldn't have
4
landed,
stories.
if he would have landed just a few feet, in any direction, he would have been on the rocks. And yeah, he was lucky to land in the water.
Wow. But I just gotta say, I was more impressed by the arch. I really was. I didn't even know it was there. We hiked down to it. We met a guy down there that was telling us about a twin arch
Oh yeah,
down in Pickett State Park.
yeah.
So I think I'm going to try to go. But it was something I've been wanting to do all year. I've been really wanting to go hike and get some nature shots. And it was so much fun. And the weather this past weekend when we went was just absolutely beautiful for it. It was cool. There was a nice breeze blowing. It was just amazing. We had a great time. And it's really sparked a drive in me to want to do more of that. So I'm looking forward. I've got plans this weekend. I'm actually going to Red River Gorge with some friends.
Awesome.
We're going to hope we can catch the leaves just starting to turn. Maybe. That's the hope anyway. But they've been up there a lot, and they're really familiar with the gorge, and they know all the cool trails and the best spots to get the best pictures and everything. So they're going to take me up and show me all that. But I want to get out. I want to get out and start doing more of this for sure, because it sounded like a good idea to me. But the other day when we went,
Solidified
I
it.
actually had such a great time that I really want to go start doing more of this.
Yeah. You were talking about the arch in McCrae County. That one is huge. The natural arch is a monster. It's huge. A few years ago, The Voice, which is the newspaper in McCrae County, did.
I thought you were talking about the
No.
singing contest game show thing.
No, they have a newspaper down there called The Voice. They did it was like a continuing editorial, I guess you would say, about various arches that can be found in McCrae County. And I want to say the number that's sticking out in my head is 280 something arches that are found in McCrae County.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are tiny. And then, of course, the big one is, Natural Arch down there. But they're all over the county down there. They're everywhere. When we do go down to Pickett, because you were talking about, going sometime here soon, there's an arch actually that goes over the lake there at Pickett as well. We'll have to hike down to it.
Oh, yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. And it's a really, really, really short, easy hike. You go across the swinging bridge over to the island, and then you can actually go over and walk across the arch.
Oh, hell, we were almost there before then.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we went down to the swinging bridge one time.
Yeah. It's pretty much that same area. So,
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, there are some beautiful places, especially McCrae. I mean, there's not a whole lot down there unless you're a nature buff, and then it's like paradise because it is gorgeous. Between the arch, you've got the falls there, Yahoo Falls. You've got Mine 18 and all of that Big South Fork recreational area.
Right.
The jumps. You've got the gorge section of the South Fork. It's just, there's just beautiful, beautiful places. So yeah, anytime that you want to take off and hike down through there, we're going to go. It's just that.
I want to go.
Okay. So let's go. But yeah, awesome places down there. So, and then up here, there are places that I hear people talking about like Short Creek. You've been to Short Creek?
Never been to Short Creek.
I haven't either. I've lived up here now for over 10 years, and people talk about how awesome Short Creek is.
Well, people say that, but it's Short Creek. It's a short creek.
But
it's literally like 3 feet long.
Yeah, but I've like seen pictures of it, and it's really pretty. So I'd like to go down and take a look at it, if nothing else, sometime.
Well, we can go do it sometime.
So yeah, and there's Shopville Park has got like a little like scenic little area down at the bottom part of it where there's a stream and a bridge and all that kind of stuff. There's some geocaching down there as well. So yeah, I would love to go out and do all this stuff as well because I like being outside. It's nice. I miss being outside.
Yeah, I just want to get out and be more active.
Yeah,
and the photography aspect of it really,
it's fun.
Sticks into me. Like I want to do that. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm going to get fussed at by several people here, but I'm not a fan of my own photography.
Again, self-critical.
I know. But I like doing it. I like getting out and doing it.
Right. And we've talked about this before as well, but it's an iceberg. Photography is an iceberg. Right. You see the good. You don't see the bulk of the iceberg below the water, which is the 10,000 shots that you took to get those 2 good ones. So it's awesome. It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah. I know. But I just want to get out and do more of it. Maybe if I practice more, I'll get more confident.
Absolutely. And the pictures that you've produced look awesome. I'm going to throw it out there. Check out Mr. Claywell's Instagram because it's awesome. Yeah. The photography on there is superb. So yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it much.
Yeah.
You're not bad yourself.
Well,
I got to say, you don't post much of your photography.
I don't.
But I've seen you do some really nice studio type work. I have seen.
It's what Dad did for 100 years. So,
and I've seen some of your like candid stuff that you've done recently. Even you did put on Instagram.
I did put a few things.
I don't like very nice.
I don't throw a lot out there because, like you, I'm overly critical of my photography. I'm like, I feel like it's just mediocre at best. So, again,
I understand.
I
understand, sir.
So yeah, but anytime that you can get outside and take photography, do take a few pictures of anything. It's awesome. It's just it just feels good to see the product of those hikes, and yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. So something that I wanted to say as well before we wrap this episode up, because it's been a while since we've sat down and chatted like this, and a few weeks ago we talked about Chris Cornell. And we talked about, the various people that we've lost. And in the past week, 2 icons. And when I say icons, entire genres of entertainment, of social change, just 2 anchors of the artistic world we lost. First being Hugh Hefner, 91 years old. That man lived an amazing, amazing life. And, what can you really say? He's the Hef. And then day before yesterday, Tom Petty. Oh my God.
66.
66 years old.
Yeah.
Finished his last 3 shows at the Hollywood Bowl last week. Wrapped up, he was saying even, this is going to be the last tour I do, like cross-country tour. I'll just do like small stuff here local.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
pretty sad.
Yeah, it's just one of those things now that I look at the ones that we're losing are so iconic, and it's heartbreaking, but we have all of the work that they have done. Hugh's
legacy,
his legacy, the photography, the social culture that he built,
and as everyone will tell you, those amazing comic strips that he published.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the only reason anybody ever read his magazine. For the comics.
I read it for the articles.
Really?
I
I thought
did.
it was just for the comics.
No, it was the articles.
The
for me.
articles.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
articles for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there something else to do with that magazine?
I
Just
think
articles
he got
and
in
comics,
trouble
right?
once or twice for having like scantily clad people in it, but I think that was just a side note.
Was that him? I always
was
thought that was. I thought that was Larry Flint.
No. Larry Flint's was
Okay.
more of like I think the one that he done was more of like a medical journal, like looking at people's insides.
More anatomical.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I got you. I got you. Okay. I get confused about all that stuff. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Oh, and then Tom Petty, of course, there'll never be another heartbreaker.
Man.
Never will be another
No,
heartbreaker like him.
nobody could ever get that voice.
No. Not
I mean,
even close.
Musically, it's great, but that voice,
Yeah.
that totally unique.
Nasally, higher pitched,
But man, it worked.
and he was such a storyteller. Oh my God. The songs, American Girl, Free Falling. I mean, you can just name them over and over and over. They are a piece of Americana.
And it's back when songs did more than repeat 4 words for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. You actually had, choruses and
And there was like a beginning, a middle, and an end to the story. You got to follow somebody along a small 3-minute journey
yeah,
and not just
yeah. I know.
one word repeated over and over. Umbrella, Ella, 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 Ella. Like, what the hell is that? That's not a song.
No, not at all.
That's somebody with a speech impediment, and you shouldn't make fun of them. That's not nice.
Oh, goodness gracious. What has our music industry come to? We'll
not
leave that
sure.
for another episode.
That's another episode altogether right there. Yeah. But
But if you want to check us out, of course, you know where we can be found at this point. We're on Facebook, facebook.com at You're going to have to help me out with this. It's been too long.
Facebook.com/Two Minds Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at Two Minds Podcast. You can shoot us an email on Gmail, twomindspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find all of our episodes on our hosting site, Podbean. That's twominds.podbean.com.
Thank you.
Give
dude.
us a like and subscribe.
I was struggling there.
That's all right. You're
right,
not the one that posts all this stuff every day, every week. So yeah, it's just ingrained in my fingers at this point, the addresses and everything.
Oh, and dude, hats off to you. We have heard from our listeners the quality of the recording and editing is very, very, very well done.
Well, thank you.
And dude, that's all you. I'm gonna
Thank you.
thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening, giving us the feedback, the likes. We love it. Thank you so much. And looks like your cup's empty there, bro.
It is. Let's go fill it back in.
Let's do this.